a piece. Working, we serving the streets. About to go 8, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this. So it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's going quiet. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go 8, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
It's go, 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 go time.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dueling Aces for September 30th, 2025. This will pretty much be about the quickest show in town. That's for damn sure.
And we're going to spend it talking about Michigan State.
Oh my God! You want to end the stream already, huh? Oh, I see. I see how this is going to go. First up, because the kids just found out. Apparently, the kids just found out about it. What's up to all of the junior high sailors, 7th and 8th grade football team, who may or may not be watching at this point, but they turned around. They were impressed to hear that I had a podcast. I said, yeah, I've only been doing it for 10 years now.
So wait, does that mean I have to watch what I say? Because if that's the case, you might as well just boot me down.
I was going to say, yeah, you might
as well.
have.
All right, well, then you might as well see what Suds is doing. I'm out of here.
I'm sorry. He has to do DA after dark.
After last week, I may have to agree with that. So we followed up the longest show ever with the shortest show ever.
Shortest show ever, right? Hey, I know Bruiser brought it up. I thought it was pretty damn cool.
Okay.
We're going to touch base a little bit with hockey because I thought this was pretty cool that you get to sign a celebratory contract. If I recall, that's what they were calling it. It was a celebratory one-day contract. And that was for, of course, Mr. Fleury of the Pittsburgh Penguins originally.
Yep.
And I did catch, there was a snippet video. I did catch the last, it was like, I guess the last couple minutes. And they actually did request a shootout in which, unfortunately, how ironic, they were playing against the Columbus Blue Jackets.
That's funny.
Yes, I am doing double duty. I am dinnering and showing at the same time.
Isn't that like every week?
Pittsburgh, no. Pittsburgh did win the game outright 4-1. It's preseason hockey. They did want to turn around and do a shootout, kind of give Fleury a little extra oomph for his way out the door, and also made him the first star. So that was pretty cool to do for a preseason game. I know,
That's
Sam,
absolutely
you being a Philly, doesn't really show or nothing behind you that you're a Flyers fan, but your opinion on said Mr. Fleury.
What Flyers? What are you talking about? Oh, you mean these things right here? You mean the two Stanley Cups that we won when you were just graduating high school?
Uh-huh.
I was waiting for my camera. I was waiting to just disappear. But anyway, no, I mean, look, as a Flyers fan, what's the term the kids like to use now, right? Game respects game. For a long time, Marc-Andre Fleury was a pain in my backside as a Flyers fan. And he's easily honestly, he's one of the best goalies of his generation, longevity-wise. Look how many years he played.
Mm-hmm.
And the most notable thing about Marc-Andre Fleury, I remember, is that the series between the Penguins and the Flyers in 2012, 2013, the Flyers had just signed Ilya Bryzgalov to make him their new franchise goalie. That lasted about 1 year. And they're still, by the way, they're still Bobby Bonilla paying him. But I think that's what teams want to do to keep this guy out of the NHL. And, at the time, Bryzgalov was coming off great years in Phoenix. Marc-Andre Fleury, of course, was one of the best goalies in the league at the time. And we expected this to be a Flyers-Penguins good old-fashioned defensive 7-game series. It turns out both these teams decide to score 5 goals per game. I think the lowest scoring game in the series was 4-3. There was 7-5. There was 6-2. There was 7-4. There were goals being scored left and right in that series. But I mean, look, the guy was he's easily one of the greatest Penguins. Would we consider him one of the greatest Penguins of all time?
Well, I mean, when you're talking about Penguins, I mean, you think Lemieux, Crosby, Yager,
and
Fleury. Yeah.
Yager.
Top 5. Yeah, that's easy.
Hey, shout out to Jaromir Yager, because that season I was just talking about, he was on the Flyers for that lone year. And he's playing hockey, I think. Or did he actually retire already? Did he's been playing. I feel like he's been playing since he hasn't been in the NHL a lot, but he's been playing professional hockey still last time I checked.
I was going to say, he's pulling a Gordie Howe.
He's pulling a U. He's showing his age, but not showing it. Anywho, look, we got to get the jokes out quick tonight. I'm like a catcher. I'm like JT Realmuto. The pop time. I'm right on it tonight. We got to make sure we get these jokes out quick. You got me on a time limit here. Oh, Jesus.
Hilarious.
Oh, I know I am.
Hilarious.
But look, I mean, but if you look at Marc-Andre Fleury, let's just look at his NHL accomplishments. The guy's a 3-time Stanley Cup champion. He's been an All-Star 5 times. He's on the All-Decades team for the 2010s. He's won a Vezina Trophy. He's won the William M. Jennings Trophy. I mean, the guy literally, he was also named as the team MVP in 2011. I mean, the guy's one of the greatest friggin' goaltenders of his era. And he's one of the greatest Penguins ever. Like, it's awesome to see him go out. And he still had some decent success out in Minnesota and with Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, as a Flyers fan, he was a pain in my ass. Excuse my language for the people at home watching. But he was. There's 2 guys I couldn't stand. I couldn't stand Sidney Crosby scoring, and then I couldn't stand Marc-Andre Fleury robbing us down the other end 5 minutes later. I couldn't stand it.
It's a Pennsylvania love-hate thing. Even though you live in Jersey. I was going to ask, living in Jersey, how on God's green earth did you become such a Philadelphia sports fan? I never did ask you that.
Fair question. Well, my grandfather was a Phillies fan because my grandfather grew up in Camden, which is right across the bridge from Philadelphia. So he grew up down there. My mother grew up. My aunt and my mother and my family grew up down there. Now, once things got bad down there, we, of course, relocated. But I've lived up in my area in Trenton my entire life. But my grandfather was a Phillies fan his entire life. So automatically, I started watching the Phillies. And then I started going to Phillies games. Then when I started getting into football, my grandfather always had the Eagles on. And then it just started. And then I started watching the basketball. We have all Phillies channels, so I watch the Sixers. And then hockey was actually my last sport I got into, but that's because my friend Alex is a Flyers fan, and he took me to my first Flyers game back in 2010. Best atmosphere ever. It's been Philly ever since. And I've lost about 10 years off my lifespan. But it's okay because I wouldn't trade it for the world. But yeah, my Philly love started with my grandfather. Literally, I've told this story 1,000 times. When I was brought home on Mother's Day in 1996. Didn't spend half the damn day with my mother. She brought me home. My grandfather said, "You had the hospital the whole week. Give me the kid." And I was on his shoulder watching a baseball game. It's my favorite story I tell people. Except, no, actually, no, that's my second favorite story. My other favorite story is the midnight Walmart trips. No, okay. I don't want to make this show a freaking a crapshoot, but let me tell you this real quick. So, when I was, oh wait, Yager's 53 and just started the season. Dude, he's crazy.
Wow.
That man's body has got, that man's body's holding up like crazy.
Wow, that's impressive.
That is. But no, so when I was an infant, my mom would go grocery shopping to the Walmarts because they were open 24 hours.
Right.
So she would go when I was sleeping because in case, God forbid, I was asleep for the night and my grandparents would watch me because my mother and I live with my grandparents. So we have, our house is like a rancher. You know, you got a living room, kitchen, dining room. Then we have the hallway where our bedrooms are. Well, my grandfather wanted the second living room. So we have that on the back of the house. And connecting it, there's a glass sliding door. So my mom would put my crib or whatever I was laying in right outside the door. So A, my grandparents could watch me until she got home. And B, the TV, when they were watching it, wouldn't disrupt my sleep. Well, my mother, she told me this, every night when she came home, it could have been an hour, it could have been 20 minutes. Every time she went shopping late at night, she came home and my grandfather would hold me. And he was like, "Oh, yeah, he woke up, he was crying." And my grandmother looked at her and was like, "Yeah, sure he did." But no, yeah, that's where the Philly love came from. Mother's Day, 1996. Came home, watched the Phillies game.
I was going to say, so literally right out of the womb.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, I'm still mowing down some dinner. The only thing I took from that story is Sam was born after I graduated high school.
Sorry.
Zolt, you're not the only one. Thoughts on today? Mike, somebody said to me yesterday, Detroit would probably win the first game and then Cleveland would win the next two. I told everybody, and I know this is going to get slammed on TAB tomorrow, but I said, you know, they were dead a month and a half ago. I was like, why get your hopes up? Come on, you already know it's Cleveland. This is the Cleveland norm. Come on. I didn't want to jump onto the baseball too fast yet, Mike. Yeah, don't bother, Bruiser. We're good. You're good. We know you're at the gym.
We always know where he is.
Still trying to figure this one out. It wasn't, I apologize. I thought it was college. It was not. It was the WNBA. And I got to play this snippet because, we have a coach who finally is probably going to get fined up the yin yang. But guess what? She's telling it like it is.
The officiating crew that we had tonight, for the leadership to deem those three people semifinals playoff worthy is fucking malpractice.
Yeah, you heard that.
One of the best players in the league shot 0 free throws. 0, and she had 5 fouls. 0 free throws. had her shoulder pulled out and finished the game with her leg being taken out, and probably has a fracture. And so if this is what our league wants. Okay, but I want to call for a change of leadership at the league level when it comes to officiating. It's bad for the game. I can take an L with the best of them. I don't think we should have to play through more than what they did. They got players, Masha's on the glass, and gets fucking cracked, and there's no call. And all of them said it wasn't my call. I didn't see it that way. They're fucking awful.
Yeah. So now we'll go into the little video.
Pictures going viral with Bria Hartley's sinister grin. The moment Sophie Cunningham went down clutching her knee, the cameras caught Hartley smirking. That single freeze frame became the centerpiece of the outrage. Fans weren't even focused on the collision anymore. It was that expression, replayed and paused 1,000 times, with people insisting it revealed everything about intent. This picture is going viral with Bria Hartley's sinister grin. The moment Sophie Cunningham went down clutching her...
Now, that clearly she was not even close to a natural engagement. She actually reached through her body all the way out to hit her.
Looks like
that is what the coach was complaining about and talking about. And you mean to tell me as an official, you're right there and you don't make that call? You do not make that. Are you one, you gotta be blind out of your mind that you didn't see it happen. And then two, I'm sorry, but as a player, you're now being full on shamed because guess what? The league's going to take a look at this and yeah, you're going to be under investigation. There will be suspensions. I'm sure there will be a very hefty fine, an extreme hefty fine, if not a league dismissal, because even the NBA doesn't play that game. And this is WNBA. Yeah, they're not going to, they should not put up with that.
No, absolutely not.
That's literally like almost saying, you just let Dennis Rodman just come over and sucker punch somebody, grab him by the knees and twist and break an ankle and shatter a kneecap all at the same time in one move. And you let it happen. You think you're going to let that player stay in the league? No. That goes against league conduct policy. Come on.
Just a bit.
And the sad part is y'all got it on video from multiple directions.
What?
Mike, YMCA refs. No. We'll get into that in a minute. Clint, I know. I'm just saying. I came across it and it's like, listen, they still haven't made the decision on this. That's the sad part about it. I mean, and the coach, you're looking in, they said this was semifinal game, Clint. It wasn't during the season. This was in the semis. This was just from a couple weeks ago. So yeah, that's pretty ugly. That is seriously ugly.
That's ridiculous.
And the coach, she wasn't censored at all. She's like, no, she's telling you like it is.
Yeah, someone's getting investigated for something.
What? Okay. She even said it was the semifinals, Clint. Before I roll back over, because I want to touch base on this real quickly because I thought this was just another one of those intriguing things you find on the internet. Here, Sam, this is what it's like to leave a Raiders game. The sea of humanity, Sam. Dude, I mean, listen. I've left some Red Wings games in my day. Kind of eerily similar, but, you know, going to the People Mover and everything. Zolt can attest to that. But nothing like this. This is insanity. I'm scared to know what bridge they were walking across because I know I don't want to be on it.
I guess some damn contractors out to make sure that thing's stable still. God dang.
And especially after, you know, after the game's over and if they get beat, you know how grumpy all these fans are and they've been drinking and they're in Vegas. Let's see what could possibly go wrong, Sam.
That's crazy.
I just saw Jimmy said something.
Interesting. The change.
Hazle's got a good point.
At least live in the joy, baby. Yes, that is very true.
This isn't Tampa.
That is very, very true.
Did you by any chance get a glimpse of the Eagles game at all and see there was, if you know, there was a spot where Jalen Carter had to come out for a couple plays because he had a shoulder injury during training camp that apparently he minorly re-aggravated on Sunday. So he sat out a few plays. If you go back and look at him sitting on the sideline, his jersey is literally a nude color of midnight green. The Eagles wear midnight green. With the amount of sweat that was soaked into his jersey, we call this 4 a.m. green. Those dudes were soaked on freaking Sunday, and they somehow were on the field for most of the damn second half. They still won the damn game.
Well,
oh God, what is this?
You had a much better showing. Oh, I shared this the other day. All I got to say is Benchwarmer Brandon, bravo, sir. Bravo. This is very well played. Nice little spoofing off of Ocean's 13. I thought it was very well done.
The league tries to change me, and I push back. And I know fans who really go out hard in ways that you can't even imagine.
Well, I know all those fans. They like me better than you. We're going to steal the Super Bowl away from Philly. Why should you look like that? Really? That. I was really hoping to avoid that this time. We got to do it. Dude, what? Am I missing something?
Well, isn't this a surprise?
No way. Careful, Baltimore. I'd hate for you to choke right now. It was a good one. Rosters revamped, divisions a cakewalk. Life is good, baby. I may not want to trust him, I may not be able to stand him, but he's our best shot. You ready for this, Buffalo? I was born ready. You're a dick, and you're a disappointment. Hey, all right. Sure about this? Nope. Everything's gonna be fine. Are you crying? No, I was just cooking with onions. Are you watching your playoff game against the Chiefs?
Oh my God.
If you don't follow Benchwarmer Brand, he is totally worth the follow. I'm it is amazing with some of the stuff he comes up with on a weekly basis. Just like the the touchdown demon does, and another the other guy that we talked about a couple weeks ago who does the college ones. He is really, I mean, he really put some fun stuff together, including one of his other very popular characters, the injury demon, as people just pop up and end up as in injury hell. And he has a lot of cool little setups for as each NFL player each week gets injured and where they're staying and what wing. He said the Chargers have a whole wing dedicated to him. And as of last week, he actually started pairing up guys because he had Aaron Jones and JJ McCarthy. And he said, well, it was going to be like bring a friend week. And all of a sudden you saw Justin Fields on the phone calling Garrett Wilson. And he goes, Garrett, run. So he is totally worth a follow. Great entertainment from him. I really enjoyed this one. This was great. What an awesome spoof. And to pick on Philly a little bit, that was even better. Oh, I'm sorry, Sam.
It's okay.
Has Lamar ever beaten Patrick?
No.
No, he hasn't. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty, and we got to address the elephant in the room. So away we go.
All right. Well, let me just start this off with, if anybody watched 609 last night, I posted on our Facebook page today, in case anyone missed it, I did put my predictions for the wild card series. So far, I am 1 for 2. Cubs beat the Padres today, so they're up 1-0. I did pick the Cubs. I do still think the Guardians are going to beat Detroit. Because the one game you expect the Guardians to lose is every Detroit series, the Terrence Scribble game. After that, anything could happen. So now we see what happens tomorrow. The Yankees are currently leading the Red Sox 1-0. So I also picked the Yankees to win that series because the Red Sox, as much as I like their team, I love their pitching rotation, I love their lineup. Lineup's very young, not a lot of postseason experience outside of Alex Bregman. So I still have the Yankees winning that series, and right now they are up 1-0 in game 1. And of course, Dodgers Reds we haven't seen yet, but I'm expecting the Dodgers to single-handedly destroy the Reds.
I was listening to you last night, and something occurred to me. And I went, dear God, it could be worse than the Subway series of a New York, New York. Sam.
God, what are you getting?
There is the actual possibility. You see this Ohio team here, and you see that Ohio team there. And if that would be one of the
Little League World Series would do better numbers. The Softball World Series would do better numbers.
The
WNBA will do better numbers.
There is
Dueling Aces will do better numbers.
I'm putting it out there now. There is the chance you could have an all Ohio World Series in 2025.
George, the only way that's going to happen is if the Mariners' entire lineup goes missing. If the Dodgers, for some reason, bench Freddie Freeman and Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts, and the Phillies bench Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber.
And Milwaukee
just hell, man.
Everybody. I'm just saying.
Oh my
on
God.
The board. It is on the board. So the realm of, hey, just like Jim Carrey said in Dumb and Dumber, so you're saying there's a chance. Yeah, there's a snowball's chance in Hades. It's right there. Here's Cleveland. There's Cincy. Here you go. You could have a Cleveland-Cincinnati World Series. Mind blowing.
You know, that would actually be the first World Series I would actually purposely not watch. That'd be a lot of 1-0, 2-1 ball games. Oh my God. Some decent pitching though, because I will say the Reds and the Guardians both have some decent pitching staffs. I will say that.
Here we go. Zolt says it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, for the whole world.
Hey, we got to put up with the New York World Series.
Hey, speaking of New York, where's the other team at?
Why couldn't, if you had a Subway Series, you can have the I-71 series. Why not?
I wouldn't watch the New York series from inside a Subway restaurant. Which, by the way, to have a Subway series, maybe the other team with the $500 million payroll after taxes can actually beat the Miami freaking Marlins, please. So, look, I don't talk a lot of baseball on 609. I still like to. But let me answer me this, right? Now, I'm aware that Juan Soto was on the Nationals in 2019, but let's be real about something. The Nationals won that World Series because Steven Strasburg, Patrick Corbin, and Max Scherzer got hot.
Yep.
Let me ask you this. The Padres. Juan Soto was a Padre. They got rid of him 2 years ago. 2 years still, postseason. Juan Soto last year was a Yankee. Juan Soto leaves. Yankees get Cody Bellinger, Paul Goldschmidt. Yankees are still in the playoffs. The Mets take the reigning champions, Dodgers, to 6 games in the NLCS. And now they go sign Juan Soto. Still have almost the same team from last year in terms of Lindor, Alonso, Vientos. And now they're battling on the final day and lose out the 6th seed because they couldn't win 84 games. So I'm going to ask that question. How impactful really is Juan Soto? I know his stats say he's a good player, but is he a winning player? Is he that guy that's supposed to get you over the top? Because he seems to me the guy to get you going back to the bottom. So how much of a game changer are we really talking about here?
Well,
like, let's be real about something, right? CC Sabathia was a great pitcher for the Yankees, but in the postseason, I knew who Andy Pettitte was.
Right.
Look at the Phillies.
Well, you've always said the Mets don't have the pitching.
They did. And so, okay, and look, and I hope some of my Mets friends listen to me. I understand the Carlos Mendoza hate. I understand you're frustrated with him. The guy just took you to the end. You were projected to be in a rebuild year, and the guy took you to the NL freaking CS, and now you want him canned. That's like Phillies fans with Rob Thompson. Oh, we want top or fire. The Phillies are enjoying the best 4-year stretch they've had in a decade because of Rob Thompson. But just think of this, right? I'm going to pull something up real quick. Cool. I think I need a blood transfusion after that. Let's just look at the Mets from last year, okay? Their starting rotation. Kodai Senga. Wait, was this two? Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Hold on. Wrong year. Well, I was right with Senga, but
Mike says Mets fans sounds like Browns fans wanting a new head coach.
Oh my God, yeah, but there's a difference. The Browns just suck, and they have a right to want a new head coach. Sometimes they don't make it. The fact that the Browns went to the AFC Championship game, which if that's the case, then it's going to freaking be snow. It's going to be sunny and 75 in Antarctica one day. But anyway, which even with global warming still may happen. Listen to this last year with the Mets. They had Luis Severino, Sean Manaea, Jose Quintana, David Peterson. And then they had a combination of Taylor McGill and where the hell Senga? Senga was on the team last year, was he not? Yes, he was. He was hurt. My mistake. I forgot. He only pitched one game. But take those other five guys, McGill, Peterson, Manaea, Severino, Quintana. You had five dudes that consistently throughout the year, and I'm a Phillies fan. I live near the Mets freaking. I'm literally like an hour and a half away, if that, from New York. I'm an hour away from MetLife Stadium. I'm not far from it. The Mets last year had five starting pitchers that gave you 6 innings a night, and it masked their bullpen, which was not good. Outside of Edwin Diaz, the Mets bullpen last year was not great. The Dodgers exposed that in the NLCS, and that's why they beat them. But then the offseason happens. You let Severino leave. You let Jose Quintana leave. Sean Manaea gets hurt in spring training and misses the first 3 months. Not his fault. So all you're left with is McGill, who got hurt, Peterson, who had a good first half, and then struggled, Senga, who I still like. Now, they brought some kids up later in the season that I think next year could really help them. But what the Mets need to do is go get a reliable top-of-the-line rotation arm. And there was plenty of them. Max Fried was a free agent. Garrett Crochet was available via trade. There were guys available. What do? Their top pitching rotation addition was Clay Holmes, who was a reliever from the Yankees for the past 3 years, who they stretched out to be a starter. And he was good until the second half of the year because, George, in case people need to remember this, when you're a relief pitcher and they try to make you a starter, that's how you develop arm problems because your arm is not used to pitching all those damn innings in one season. And then the other addition they had, Frankie Montas, he got hurt in spring training. Then his ERA was up toward the Bermuda Triangle most of the damn season. So for the Mets fans that literally say Carlos Mendoza should be fired, Carlos Mendoza is not the reason the Mets fell apart this year. The reason the Mets fell apart this year is because their pitching couldn't hold up, which I predicted from the damn winter meetings, George. We talked about this.
We did. We talked about that on. We did a hitting home show.
Yes, and I literally said their pitching is a concern, and they didn't address it enough. So then they go out. So then they've realized how bad their starting rotation is. They try to mask it by going out on the deadline, like the Phillies, and getting relief arms. Well, Tyler Rogers was good for them. Ryan Helsley stinks because, once again, you can't just trade for a closer when you see, here's the difference with the Phillies, right? The Phillies closer, before he got suspended was Jose Alvarado. Alvarado's not really a closer, but he can close. Matt Strahm is not a closer. The Phillies needed a closer. Insert Johan Duran. Bullpen's been a lot better ever since. The Mets have Edwin Diaz, who is easily, I think, George, we can agree, one of the best closers in the game.
Apparently, yeah.
You can't just trade for another closer and say you're going to be the setup man. You can't do that to these guys. Baseball players are, what is the word I'm looking for?
I don't know. You need the dictionary? Oh, wait a minute. You don't know what one of those are. That's right.
You were there when the first thesaurus was written, you smart ass. Shut up. They're creatures of habit, right? Like, I could paint a perfect example. Craig Kimbrell signed with the Phillies 2023. He was their closer the whole year. NLCS. I'm watching the pitch the 7th inning against the Diamondbacks. Well, yeah, the guy's not a 7th inning pitcher. He's the closer. Ryan Helsley in St. Louis was a closer. And then he's an 8th inning guy. ERA ballooned.
Oh,
thanks, Mike.
Mike's. And just don't worry about it. Mike's a Steelers fan. You can retort that. He's a Steelers fan.
Oh, they're 3-1. I ain't got something to say right now. I got nothing to say about the Steelers, except that their head coach is the James Franklin of the NFL. But anyway. Put those in both. James Franklin's the Mike Tomlin of college football. Except Mike Tomlin's actually won something.
He has?
Yeah, him and Doc Rivers both. They hang on to one championship, and they'll never be out of the league.
Nice.
But yeah, that's just my point. The Mets fans and now the Mets fans, you better be concerned, because I think there was a little problem with that clubhouse, because a half hour after your postseason dreams were crushed in Miami, when the locker room opened up to the media, 30 minutes after the season was over, Pete Alonso said, "I'm out of here." That's not a good thing.
Yep, that guy right there.
That's not a good thing. So, but yeah, but for this stupid thing of, we want to fire the manager. The guy just got you to the NLCS when you were projected to be a laughingstock. What? Jorge Lopez took his glove, threw it in the stands. You guys are supposed to be in last. What the hell's wrong with you guys? Oh my God, my blood pressure's up, and I'm not even a Mets fan. I'm wearing a Phillies shirt, for God's sakes.
I was going to say, dude, you're a Phillies fan. Calm down. Jeez.
I can't handle all right, listen, I don't handle stupidity, okay?
I deal with it on a daily basis, and you, more than all people, you deal with it on an hourly basis.
Try a second basis.
Exactly what I said last year, Mike. And I said, now Cleveland screwed it up again and left that door open again. That's what I'm waiting to see, because that needs to be the next jersey that will go there.
Did I see
the green screen?
Did I see Big Christmas playing first base today? They got Noel playing first base today, I saw.
Just throwing anybody out there at this point.
Hey, you know what they say? Someone's got to play the damn position.
Right, to help. Bryce is available.
Is Scott Hatterberg? This feels like Moneyball.
No, Bryce is available. You wanted a good first baseman. I got Bryce. I can get Bryce. No problem.
But I was talking about Pete Alonso potentially going to the Guardians last year. I like that thing. They're going to have money to spend. Now I know I know it's a touchy subject, but they have money. I think.
Yeah. They've always got money.
They do.
They've always got money. I was going to say, the ownership is dwindling itself off. Let the new ownership come in, make that big splash, just like what they said in draft day. We want to make a big splash. Well, guess what? This is definitely a way to make a big splash. And I'd actually have to turn around and go buy a Cleveland baseball jersey.
Except I will disagree in that movie where they say defense doesn't make a splash. BS.
Oh, I was going to say major BS.
Vic Fangio made a splash last year when the Eagles hired him.
Yeah, Mike, we know, but the Dolans almost don't have full ownership anymore. That's what I'm saying. Let the new ownership regime have more than the 48.6%, which looks like it's close to happening. And yeah, we won't have to worry about the Dolans.
Wait, whoa! When did new ownership pop in? When did that happen?
It's been happening a little bit since last year.
Oh, really? Now?
Yeah, the Dolans are selling off chunk by chunk, and it's like, yep, that's right, because it looks like the Dolans want to get out. And as far as Clevelanders go, we're like, good riddance, get out of here, get the hell out. Don't need you, don't want you. It's like, hey, we need something to happen. Uh-oh. Anthony, is that breaking news I see?
Sounds like... Yeah, it looks like Gabriel's getting the start.
Oh, boys and girls. Breaking news. Is that what we done did see? The Brownies. Shocker. Of course, after we play the hard teams. Bum 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 bum.
I'm still with you. I'm answering stupid YouTube comments right now.
Oh, good Lord. Yes. The Browns are to bench Flacco in favor of Gabriel versus the Vikings. So, isn't that interesting? I don't know if we can call this fake news. You know I hate fake news. Oh, no. We're not going to get into the boring game. So, of course, it's always the Cleveland thing. Oh, Jesus. Wow, Mike. Ouch. 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 Oh, that hurts, Mike. That hurts. Oh, man, does that hurt? Mike, Sam. Look at Mike's comment. That hurts. Oh, that so hurts. That so hurts. Yeah, Zolt. I mean, it's pretty much it. Is they weren't going to start him. I said it wasn't going to happen until week 6. A little surprised they're going by week 4. But I'm thinking at this point, they're like, what do we have to lose at this point? Nothing seems to be working. And I'm sorry, even after the Browns won, Flacco was like on the bench sitting there going, yeah, whatever. And then he won, and it was like, oh, cool.
Here's what you do. You start Gabriel, and if he starts looking good because his hamstrings messed up, you trade Flacco to Baltimore so in case Lamar's banged up worse.
Really?
What? That would be hilarious. They're gonna run trick plays with both Flacco and Lamar in the freaking backfield.
Really?
I'm here every Tuesday, folks. I think.
You think. You funny. You funny.
Just saying.
You just saying. I knew Joe Time was over when he had 6.8 last week. Wow. Okay. So, speaking of last week, Seattle taking the reins in the West again, knocking off Arizona in those weird damn uniforms. I was like really?
The helmets.
All it was a sand color with blood splatter all over it. I was like,
the helmets were sick.
Yeah. No, the helmets, the unis that were sick was the Miami Dolphins in that dark water black.
I'm not talking about that game last night. There was a situation. I ain't talking about that.
And the Tyreek, your leg doesn't bend that way, buddy. Just saying.
Why was he so happy?
Oh, because he knows he's going to see Benchwarmer Brandon in a few minutes. Boom! And he's going to end up with the injury demon. And he's going to sit there and see everybody else and hang out. That's
I don't know.
He's super excited. He knows that he's going to get paid for the rest of the season. He's going to be out the rest of the year. He's getting paid, and he doesn't have to deal with this Miami garbage at this point. Because unfortunately, and sorry to our favorite NFL elementary teacher, It's just not looking good for you. It's got to be tough to be a Miami Dolphins fan down there in Miami right now. It's I don't know which is worse, being a Cleveland fan or a Dolphins fan. It's got to be tough. It has to be tough. I don't know which one could be worse. It's just brutal.
Wait, what was it between being a Dolphins fan and what?
A Browns fan.
At least Miami, you got nice. At least in Miami, you have nice weather, basically all year round.
Okay.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Imagine being a Miami fan in general. The Marlins consistently suck. The Miami Heat are an average play-in team since LeBron left. And the Dolphins give you false hope every year because you think it's going to be different, but it never is.
Yeah, but with the Marlins, you get a World Series every once in a while.
Yo, hold on a second. Did you want to hear a crazy statistic about that? So the Marlins have been around for 34 years, right? They have missed the playoffs 30 times. So the other thing is, two of those playoffs were the 97 and 03 World Series, but the other two playoff appearances have come in the last 5 years, 2020 and 2023. That is insane.
It happens.
That's freaking ridiculous.
Dolphins fans actually thought they had a shot.
I'm not doing this with Salt right now, okay?
Jackson Dart, first win. Hey.
And now he's screwed because he lost his number one wide receiver.
There's going to be trades. I mean, shoot, Houston's looking to trade the farm. I mean,
did you hear the reports, by the way?
They got their first win. I mean, 26-0. Hey, congrats on the win, fellas.
Did you hear the report about the NFL, though?
What's that?
They have met with the Giants regarding the MetLife turf.
Yeah, I don't know why they met with the Giants when it's the Jets and Giants.
Well, I'm assuming that. Yeah, I don't know either, but they're trying to address the situation with that turf. Because every year it seems like 2 to 3 players get injured on that turf with non-contact injuries.
Yet the only Jet I know who got hurt was Aaron Rodgers. But that's just
you never hear. Well, that's why I said last night you never hear about the Jets because nobody watches them.
Well, so you never hear about any Jets players getting hurt or anybody hurt during a Jets game. It's always hurt during a Giants game. I don't know what it is.
But even when if it's a Jets player or a Giants player or a player of another team, Red Sox took the lead 2-1 in the 7th. Shit. There goes my picks.
It's
but either way,
relax.
It's a best out of 3, Nimrod.
Right. Relax. There's still 2 more games of misery to come. Calm down.
The winners of game 1 have all won the series.
Neighbors is either 8th or 9th ACL or
yes,
at the stadium.
Because it's not just that. Nick Bosa's first ACL tear came on that field. It's just something there. AJ Brown, 2023, missed the Bucks playoff game because he hurt his knee on that damn turf.
I think there was something similar with the Oilers, if I'm not mistaken, back in the day. So, yeah, I get it. Atlanta, I don't know. Jekyll and Hyde against Washington, looked like it was a boat race, which I was not expecting such a high ball game. 34-27. Buffalo, so disappointed. I went for the 15.5 with y'all to blow the Saints out. What the hell were you doing letting them score points? Give me a break. Philly got gifted. You have to say. Because if Baker throws away that football, you lose the game. If he doesn't throw that stupid interception in the end zone, you guys lose that football game. I'm sorry.
I don't give a damn what would have happened. We still won the damn football game. Hell no, we ain't.
Tampa's defense was owning the Eagles in that fourth quarter. Owning. It was not. Let's say for what it is. They were owning you. And you know that that's going to come back to haunt later. You know they got your number.
How? Where? Hold on. No. Where is this narrative that the Bucks own us? We've in the past 4 times we played them, they've won 2, we've won 2. 2023 regular season, we won. 2023 playoffs, they won. 2024 last year, they won. This time, we won. First of all, the playoff game, A.J. Brown didn't play. Last year, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Lane Johnson didn't play. Oh yeah, they're big and bad. Yeah, they're big and bad when they're playing teams with half their starters out, and when they're playing. First of all, it's taking them to the final minutes to play.
They're missing their guys too.
He just got Chris Godwin and Tristan Wirfs back on Sunday,
but he got lost Evans.
He got Godwin and Ibuka and Bucky Irving.
That's right. They got no.
And hold on, are we going to forget the first half when we were kicking their asses up and down the field? There were 2 halves in that game.
Yeah. Yes, there were.
Not to mention it was 160 degrees.
Oh, suck it up.
Oh, yeah, right.
Detroit, man.
You're out in Vermilion. You don't even know what humidity is.
Dude, we get plenty of it.
I'm jealous. No, shut up. I'm jealous of you.
George Pickens might get an extension. We'll get to the snooze fest in a minute. Detroit owns Cleveland. The barge. Cleveland loses the barge. Detroit gains the barge. 34-10. The New England Patriots showed up. They played the Carolina Panthers, but they did more than play the Carolina Panthers. They showed Carolina Panthers. They told the Carolina Panthers what play they were running, ran the play, still scored, and the Panthers still went, okay. And a 42-13 shellacking. My disappointment, the 49ers just let Jacksonville have a 21-0 lead. I was like, what the heck's going on? Didn't get to catch any. It's like I still haven't seen much football whatsoever.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question real quick. Now, I know Purdy's still a little dinged up. I know Pearsall and Jennings are dinged up. I know you're still waiting for Kittle to come back. If around the deadline, if Kittle's back healthy and the receivers are healthy and everyone else is relatively healthy on the team, and they're still, they're still playing good football. Is that phone call for Trey Hendrickson coming? Because here's the thing, right? You don't got to worry about his contract. He's a free agent.
We brought that up. Yeah, we did bring that up before. We did bring that up. I was going to say, you were actually, you still are sticking with that because you brought it up last time in saying the 49ers would be the team that would be able to, one, they'd be able to afford him, and two, offer him the extension he wants as well. And he's a perfect fit.
And that's because here's the thing, right? If you get him and extend him, Bosa will not have to rush back next year from injury because you're going to have him. I still love the young kids. Michael Williams, he looks good. I think Alfred Collins and CJ West are getting better. They're still young. Bryce Huff has been a good rotational piece, but you can't. Michael Williams and Bryce Huff are not enough right now to get after the quarterback. Only two teams that really are in need of Trey Hendrickson right now are the 49ers because their best edge rusher got hurt. And actually, after watching 4 games, I think the Eagles make sense. Now, the Eagles are getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Josh Uche, Zadarius Smith, they're rotating in and out. They're fine. Now, Nolan Smith, he's on IR for another 3 weeks. But it's going to be 5 weeks because when he's ready to be activated, we go on the bye week. So we're going to have extra time to get him healthy. The Eagles right now depend on interior pressure from Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and Moro Ojomo. They don't have the edge rushers are there. We're getting pressures. We're not finishing. That is a big reason why the Baker Mayfield 70-yard bomb to Bucky Irving and Emeka Ibuka happened. It's because the Eagles pass rush, they got there, they're not finishing. So if the Eagles think they can make that move, because again, Trey Hendrickson, yes, I understand he's making like $34 million this year. It's a $34 million rental. The guy's on a one-year deal, and if he works out and you don't want to pay him, you don't have to. If he comes in, doesn't fit your system, you don't have to. There's nothing. They say in sports, there's nothing wrong with a one-year deal. There's also no problem with a half-year rental.
True.
So the two teams that make the most sense for him are the Eagles and the 49ers. Now, if I'm the Niners, it's more long-term than short. For the Eagles, it could be long-term. I'm not saying it wouldn't be, but Jalen Carter's going to be up for a contract extension soon. There's a bunch of things for the
spend. Yeah, you want to spend the money with who you've got now.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I would have no issue if the Eagles would rent Trey Hendrickson for, 7 games? If he gets after the quarterback, I don't give a shit what he gives up. Regardless of what we said, the goal for the Eagles is still, I don't care how young they are, the goal is always going to be to get back to the Super Bowl. So I don't care what they give up. They're going to have 19 draft picks. Look, I'm going to have a very long draft weekend next year because we have 25 draft picks. They got 8 of their own, 19 compensatory picks, which I freaking hate. I hate compensatory picks. I love them because they're picks, but man, I hate hearing that word.
Oh, yeah, but it works out in the long run because you always give those compensatory picks when you're trading in certain rounds and you give all those.
And this is, again, why the Eagles are able to have this high-powered offense with Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley. And they're able to pay all these guys because they've drafted so well on the defensive side of the football with Jalen Carter, with Jordan Davis, with Moro Jomo was a 7th-round pick. And he leads the team right now in sacks with 2. Yes, our pass rush has not been very consistent. And then you go into the second level. You stole Zach Bowen, just came out of nowhere and is the best, easily the second best, maybe some people could say first, the best middle linebacker in football. I'm not saying that. Fred Warner's still a dog. I ain't trying to say that. But Zach's right up there with him. And now look at this year. Andrew Makuba. I know he had that bad play against Ibuka. Ibuka does that to everybody, okay? The kid's a stud. But just 2 weeks ago, Andrew Makuba, Chiefs moving down the field, ball pops off of Kelsey's hands, Makuba takes it. Jahad Campbell, he's already one of the top 10 graded linebackers. He's played 4 career games. He's right now the favorite for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Keely Ringo, who's barely played, came in on Sunday, played well. Oh, and let's not and they still got guys, Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, 2 edge rushers they're still trying to develop to be full-time players. Oh, not to mention Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. Yeah. I mean, those 2 guys are just getting better with every game they play.
Yeah, and I'm a happy camper about it.
Yeah, if I come out there next year, do me a favor. Take I'll pay you. I'll give you the money. Take the wife, take the kid out for a nice day. I know where you live. I'll just come and get the car.
Yeah, sorry, but the card will be in a safe somewhere by then. It'll be in a safe somewhere by then. I don't know what you're talking about, especially with the newer one that I just got. That was a nice one too. Well, the Packers wanted Hendrickson before making the trade for Parsons. We'll get to the snooze game in a second. The Rams and Colts, on TAB we mentioned this was going to be a great game. It didn't disappoint. Bummer that the Colts didn't come out on top. I thought, Danny Dimes could probably keep it going, especially when, you're in LA and, the Rams home games are basically the visitors' home games 90% of
Hold on. I understand Daniel Jones. Yes, I know some people are trying to say, oh, he went back to his old Daniel Jones thing.
No.
If Mitchell isn't such an idiot and remembers to hang onto the football into the end zone and doesn't hold the Rams corner, which, by the way, why are you holding a corner? Hold on. So, look, I just watched the Rams corner try to cover A.J. Brown 2 weeks ago. Do you think that corner is going to solo tackle Jonathan freaking Taylor?
No.
If those two plays don't happen,
The
Colts win.
Yeah. Yep. 100%
That's
agree.
what Tyler and I said this. They don't got to beat the Rams. They got to show they can hang with the Rams. And they did.
And they did.
And that's with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams going ape shit.
Yep. It was a great game. I would totally I would want to watch it again.
Absolutely.
I only got to see snippet highlights, but I would love to watch the whole game. What game I did actually get to see for a couple of hours? Yes, I finally had a couple of hours. The Baltimore Kansas City game. We pretty much knew I knew what the outcome was. I mean, it's no secret. Next up, the Bears walk into Vegas and go, hello. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. They showed us the last snippets of that game coming off of the Baltimore Kansas City thing, which I thought was hilarious. And then when I got into the TV was playing Sunday Night Football, I saw Green Bay was up like 14-2, and I'm like, okay, well, this butt whooping's done. And then to wake up at 3 a.m. and see my phone, and it said Green Bay and Dallas had tied at 40 apiece. I'm sorry, but what a snoozer. That had to be for anybody who stayed awake and had to get up for Monday early to go to work. That sucks.
Hold on. Let me ask you something with this. I have one small issue that what you're saying right now. How are you saying a game that had 80 combined points is a snooze fest?
It's the Cowboys.
Nothing. Yeah, Cowboys offense that looked better without CeeDee Lamb.
No, not really. Because the Packers defense, lucky against the Detroit in week 1. The Packers defense, I'm sorry, you couldn't stop Cleveland with a wet paper napkin. And then you almost lose back-to-back. I'm sorry, a tie pretty much is a loss. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, essentially, yeah.
Yeah. You choked it away. You had a butt whooping lead and you blew it again. There ought to be there should be a defensive coordinator whose butt is on a hot seat right now.
Well, Tyler and I pointed this out. We pointed this out back about the Packers back when we were doing our previews. With the addition of Micah, I love their pass rush. Him when he's healthy, Rashawn Gary, Luke Van Ness. I love their front seven. Edrin Cooper, Devontae Wyatt. I like them. Xavier McKinney's a great safety. However, that secondary is an issue. And they were letting Jake Ferguson, George Pickens, Tolbert, and Turbin rip them to shreds.
Everybody.
I said that because hold on. And this is what I've been saying about it with CeeDee Lamb. Dallas lost the Eagles game because CeeDee Lamb couldn't catch a football 3 times in a row. They scored 14. All right. They scored a bunch against the Giants. Whoopee, the whole league does that. Yeah. But they only scored 14 against a Dennis Allen-led Bears defense, which has not been very good this year. The reason I'm saying that is I'm not trying to. I don't want to fit this narrative, and I'm not calling CeeDee Lamb this. I'm not trying to say that having a number 1 wide receiver like that is a bad thing, but when you have, I said this about Dallas last year, if they find consistent roles for Tolbert and Turpin, they're a dangerous offense because those two guys have a lot of speed. And George Pickens is not a number 1 wide receiver. He's a number 2, or he's a 1 on a bad team. But he solidified a nice role on Sunday, and now they have the areas to operate getting Tolbert and Turpin the ball in space because CeeDee's not out there. Jake Ferguson got a bunch of targets this week. And Dak had, in my opinion, his best game of the year because they were able to space the ball out to multiple targets. It's the Patriots from the Brady days. They didn't want a Randy Moss. Yeah, they had him for a couple of years, but they never won. They win because they threw the football and targeted multiple guys. Some teams operate better than that. I ain't saying CeeDee Lamb's a bad player. I'm not saying CeeDee Lamb is bad for the Cowboys. I'm just saying as a quarterback, when you have a wide receiver like that, you do feel kind of a bit of a pressure to get the football to him. I'm going through that drama right now with A.J. Brown, even though it's not really drama. But the so-called radio stations in this area want to make it a problem. But
Right.
that's the thing. There's sometimes quarterbacks are better when they don't have to have the pressure to do that stuff. And I thought the Cowboys offense actually looked good. Javonte Williams is still running the football really effectively. And they were throwing the football to their other four guys. Pickens had a good game. Turpin had a good game. Tolbert had a good game. Ferguson had a good game.
If they
when
choke
CD comes,
against the Jets next week, you got to take it all back. I'm just warning you. Dallas goes to the Jets next week.
Wait, we're going to watch George Pickens line up against Sauce. That is going to be there. All right. I am calling this now. Listen to me. I know you're busy tomorrow. I want you to clip this part of the show.
Okay.
Somebody in that game's getting ejected. One of those two are getting ejected.
Place your bets, folks. That's
Place it. It's going to happen. It'll probably be Pickens, too.
And that's going to be the prop bet of the week right there.
And if anybody watching the show places that bet, I'll give you my Venmo because I want half.
Speaking of which, the Jets somehow suffer the heartbreaker. Miami, if you're going to keep winning, wear the dark water jerseys. 27-21, damn close, and a lot closer than the late shellacking that Denver gave Cincinnati, 28-3.
Game, I couldn't watch it.
I mean, dude, Cincinnati enjoy the basement of the AFC North, Cincy, because dang, you are in a world of hurt.
You think they should call around for
free fall?
You think they should call around for quarterbacks?
They need more than a quarterback.
I'll give them Tanner McKee for Trey Hendrickson.
I have to say that I said it before the season started when the 49ers got Mac Jones. I was actually happy with it because somebody went, well, what do you think you got Mac Jones now? I'm good with it. I thought Mac Jones was absolutely fine in New England. I think the coach pretty much screwed him in his system. I think if Mac Jones was still in New England instead of Drake May, New England would still be doing well. I am not disappointed to have Mac Jones. Not at all. Not one bit. I'm happy with it. That being said, Mac might be playing against the Rams on Thursday night because somebody re-stubbed his toe and it's looking like a coin flip that pretty much Mac Jones is going to be back in the saddle. And hey, Purdy, look, buddy, love you, but get the dang thing. Don't rush it back. I don't think he needed to rush it back, even going into this week. I think he would have been fine missing this week and the Thursday. Take the 10 days off and get it better. I think he rushed it back too soon. And that's disappointing because I think after the Thursday night game, it's like the 49ers need the time to get healthy. Also, we start the bye weeks this week, Sam. The bye weeks are in full effect now.
Yeah, let's not talk about that because my best fantasy players on a damn bye week.
Pittsburgh, Green Bay, Chicago, and Atlanta all on the bye week, which means a shrinkage of the Sunday games. But don't worry, wake up at the butt crack of dawn, 9:30 a.m., Minnesota at Cleveland. There is your NFL Network, NFL Plus football game live from London. Yes, Minnesota, as I mentioned on to Sam's show 609 last night. Minnesota did stay out there, of course, because
why wouldn't they?
It's not like you're going to fly back and forth. Next week, Minnesota will have the bye week, recovering coming back from over across the pond.
It'll be jet lag for 6 weeks.
Vegas goes to Indy probably for a massive butt whooping. I don't see Indy losing that one. The Giants are at New Orleans. Mr. Dart, congratulations on win number 2.
Can
Dallas.
that game end in a tie?
Oh, hell no. I think Jackson Dart is exactly what New York Giants fans were hoping for with Danny Dimes. Didn't get it. And even though Mr. Neighbors is down for the count, I don't. Hey, it's just kind of like the Indians in Major League. Who the hell are these guys? Well, guess what, New York? You're about to find out who your whole team is.
Hey, you think the guys who take care of the MetLife turf are just like two like Asian guys that say they're shitty all the time? What they do in the movie?
With both teams. Speaking of which, as I said, Dallas goes to the Jets. I'm thinking Mr. Glenn is sick and tired of this close BS, and I think Dallas is in for a rude awakening. I'll take the Jets, even with Dallas favored by 2.5. I'm sorry, but I think your win against the Packers was fraud. The Denver Broncos go to Philly. Ooh, an actual matchup. Philly's favored 3.5, the 3 points at home. Just obliterate it. Throw the freaking line out the window. This is, as JR likes to say, I think this is a slobber knocker.
This is the matchup of the top 2 defenses in the NFL.
Yes, sir.
I don't care what I don't give 2 shits what the numbers say. The Eagles still have one of the best defenses in football. I don't give a shit what the numbers say.
It is. Yeah, it is. This is even Vegas knows the over-under is set at 43. That's the second lowest, by the way. Or I'm sorry, my apologies. Third lowest for the week, maybe, even with Cleveland being 36.5, the over-under. And that's just because Cleveland won't be able to score. So, yeah, this one, that's going to be a good dogfight. So tune into CBS for that one. That'll be fun. Miami gets to go to Carolina. I'm guessing it depends on which Jekyll and Hyde Carolina team you get, and maybe even which one Miami team you get. I don't know. Coin flip that one, make that one a tie. The spread's only 1.5. Houston goes to Baltimore to get a shellacking because I think Baltimore is going to be a little peeved. Maybe this might be a little bit of interest to folks with Lamar Jackson because it looks like Mr. Jackson is not going to play. Houston is favored in Baltimore by 1.5.
Still time to make the Flacco trade. He knows the Harbaugh system. Ain't the damn day anything's changed with the coach.
Right? Yeah.
Hell,
so,
go call Antoine and Corey Smith. What we doing?
FYI, Vegas knows Lamar is not going to play. Warning with all those with Zay Flowers. Bryce is standing right over my shoulder. So he has Zay Flowers on his fantasy team.
Yeesh.
I'll talk to you in a second. Tennessee at Arizona. Sorry, Tennessee. That's an easy pick. Tampa Bay at Seattle. That's going to be a tight game. Seattle is favored 3.5 on top of it. This could be a very, very close game. Detroit gets a free trip down I-75 to Cincinnati. Whoo, that butt whooping, that's going to hurt. I mean, that ain't right. I mean, Denver, the line is 10.5. I may go with that one for this week. I may pick that on tab tomorrow night. 10.5, I'm in. Detroit's defense will steamroll. The Commanders at the Chargers. Sam, I don't get it. All of a sudden, the Chargers are like falling apart. Started out strong and leading your freaking division, dude. What
No
the
Slater
hell?
for the No Slater for the year. Joe Alt's going to miss multiple weeks with a high ankle sprain. Both tackles are now out.
Talk about hitting the free agency wire. They're going to be hitting the trade wire, the free agency wire, anything and everything.
I mean,
Sunday night snoozer. New England at Buffalo. Everybody can go to bed early. And a game that I thought at first, oh, okay, well, this will be, tons of fun. And it's just going to be a butt whooping. But 3-1 Jacksonville against 2-2 KC. Can you believe you got to say it that way? Yeah, and it's in Jacksonville. And KC's favored by the home points, 3.5. Could be interesting, boys and girls. I'm just saying, the KC defense, when you focus on, your enemy and you know him well, and all of a sudden you got to play somebody who you usually aren't used to playing, well, good luck, because Jacksonville's pretty well balanced. So more power to you. I think actually that one's probably going to be a good one. Vegas even says 46.5. But make sure you're checking your fantasy lineups, because the bye weeks, like I said, have started. So you definitely are going to want to pay attention between that. Check with Benchwarmer Brand on your injury report. The newest and latest and greatest of the players now sitting in his basement. And don't wake up at 9:30 in the morning to check out Cleveland and Minnesota. You're better off probably sleeping. I know where I'll be headed. I have to head to Mansfield. Somebody's got an all-day baseball tournament. 9 a.m., 11, and 4. Oh, by the way, it's an hour drive. It's an hour drive to get there. We got to be there an hour before the first game. So we got to wake up at 6 to leave by 7 to be there by 8 for him to play by 9.
In case anybody also, I have 2 little tidbits before we pop out of here. So Pat Surtain got interviewed this week because the Broncos play the Eagles, and they were asking him to name his top 5 corners in the league. So ultimately, he named himself, which of course, he is the top 5 corner. He's probably the best corner in the league. Then he named J.C. Horn, Derek Stingley, Trent McDuffie, and Quinyon Mitchell.
I was going to say, are we missing somebody?
We're going to have the battles this Sunday in the link. I'm excited.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But now I have a question real quick. Now, you should know where this is going since we're about to call it a night. You should know where this is going. Let me ask this before we end the show. When an organization signs a vet, like Joe Flacco, right? Veteran quarterback, 1-year deal. Russell Wilson, right? They get a veteran quarterback for a 1-year deal and they end up benching him. Is that the organization asking for a refund? Quarterback refund?
Interesting. It almost works. It could have been the setup. It was there, and it just didn't quite hold. But it was you really set that up nicely, but it just didn't. The punchline didn't really stick. We're gonna have to work on it for next week.
That's awesome.
But yeah, let's put a pin in this one, and let's try the same joke next week, because that one was juicy, and it just got all over the place, and it just didn't hold well. So we'll try it again. We'll try it again next week. We'll catch us next week. We'll do it again.
So can I finally talk?
We'll run it back.
Can I
We'll
finally
run it.
talk about Michigan State?
That takes care of the 4 minutes. Say goodnight, Grayson.
Good night.
Good night. That's it. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night.
Good night.
So I said, well, flip a coin. And if it comes out heads, have your hair dyed.
And if it comes out tails, say goodnight, Gracie.